Hello YouTube! I'm Pinstar and this is Pinstar Plays Haste. So, there are times where I step out of my wheelhouse, and you guys know my wheelhouse well. Turn-based, or real-time with pause, strategy games, or simulations, or management sims, that sort of thing. Things where you can pause the action, ponder your next move, and go ahead with both a long and a short-term plan with lots of moving parts operating under the hood. Sometimes my brain just is like, I want to go fast and do something completely different. So this is something completely different. Now, it is tied to my wheelhouse tenuously, I should say, by the form of it being a roguelike, meaning permadeath, and you build up, no two runs are the same, procedurally generated levels. So essentially this is an action roguelike, a high-speed action roguelike. And you know what? I've been having a lot of fun with it, so I decided I'm going to play it. This is probably just going to be a one-off series, unless you guys really want to see more. But I wanted to show it off. It is available. Both a free demo is available, and the full thing's available on a discount for the next couple of days. So let's dive in, shall we? I'll explain as we go along. So this is the world of Haste. The world's kind of fallen apart, as you'll see as we approach some of these different gates here. The save files, I'm a little bit further along in this save file, but let me get to, I'm going to revisit the first world, and I'll explain things as we get there. Okay, so the way this game works is that you're running real fast. If you are familiar with the Sonic the Hedgehog type games, this is not too far off from it in terms of going really, really fast. And I'm just trying to find World 1 here. I gotta follow the little energy things here. But basically, you go off of hills and you're trying to get the downslope. The cleaner the angle that you hit the downslope on, the more you pick up speed and the more you gain energy. Energy is used for using your special traversal thing. You start out with a hoverboard. I have the wings at the moment, so I'll explain how things go here. So right now, the other thing you have to do is worry about dodging obstacles. Early levels, not so many obstacles to have to worry about. It's more about that. Also, you have to keep going fast because behind you, the world is collapsing. And if you go too slow, the world will collapse behind you and engulf you with that. So yeah, the faster you go, the better. As you can see, I can do a little down dive to try and hit those hills. Yeah, perfect. And see how I get a speed boost. My speed is in the upper left corner. Those little sparks are currency, and depending on how fast you go, you get a reward at the end of each level. Now, to be a proper roguelike here, we have a randomly generated set of nodes here, and this takes us all the way up towards a boss. And yes, there is a boss to this. So we can go on here. These empty ones are just regular levels like we just ran through. These ones are shops, which is where we can spend our sparks, which is going to be useful. The question marks are random events. Let's see. This fire up here gives you a chance to heal and also restore extra lives. We have 3 lives. If we run out of HP, we get to try again, but it uses up one of our lives. We lose all the lives, we're kicked out of the shard, and we have to try all over again from the beginning. And then up here. So these ones up here are extra challenging levels, but they give you an item as a reward. Also, each run that you do, you start off with no items besides your chosen traversal tool. Can I choose? Yeah. So my chosen, I can't change it mid-run, but I can change which traversal tool I use, and you unlock more of them. There's 4 of them in the game, but enough jibba jabba. Let's go, and you can just chain these back to back, which is what I think I will do here. So now we'll go through 2 normal levels plus the shop. And the game really encourages you to sort of start getting into a flow state. And yeah, the more of these we get, the better. There are some items that you get that give out synergistic things. Yeah, you take damage from running into things. Now that doesn't seem, dodging things doesn't seem too hard on this first level, but as you go on, there are more and more obstacles. There are more and more dangers, missiles, lasers, explosions, like really nasty setups, and also just really tight quarters for everything. So you gotta weave yourself in between more and more tightly compacted areas to keep yourself moving forward, and also while still trying to keep an eye on the slopes, because you need to keep yourself going at a fast pace. Simply running along the ground is not an option, or at least, I mean, it is, but you're not at your fastest. You need to hit those down slopes to keep your speed up. Otherwise, the void will catch up to you. And if you hit a bad landing, i.e. if you hit a slope on the way up, you will slow down significantly, and yeah, the void will start nipping at your heels. But keep cruising here, and you're golden. You do not automatically heal in between each level or anything like that, but there are items that give you healing under certain conditions. Also, that yellow bar is my energy. I need to use some of that whenever I use my traversal tool, and I build it initially by I build it initially by just hitting good landings. So now we have 1,360 of these sparks, so we can choose some items here. So, fragile confidence. If your last landing was perfect, give us a 15% boost. A boost just means higher, your base speed is higher. So as long as our last landing was perfect, we're going to be running with 15% boost. Of course, if it wasn't, then we lose that temporarily, but that's all right. On perfect landings, restore 3 health. That's not bad. So we could have like a perfect land. Well, I don't have enough for both of these. I do like the golden necklace, which is just a constant passive. Yeah, let's go boost, double boost. Let's get fragile confidence. And now we are going to be a lot faster. 10% just all the time, and then another 15% on top of that when we hit perfect landings, as long as our last landing was perfect. All right, let's see what this random event is. Sometimes they can be challenges, sometimes they can be just bonuses. On perfect, oh wow, we're just, for 5 levels on perfect landings, gain 15% boost for 5 seconds. Okay, well then. We have a lot of on perfect landings, so yeah, let's carry on this way. Now I'm gonna, you don't have to lock in, ahead of time, but I'm gonna lock these 2 in. From here, I'm gonna decide if I want to head to the campfire. If I, for some reason, took a lot of damage or maybe lost a life, then I'll head to the campfire. Otherwise, I can go up here and start greeting up some more shards. All right, perfect landing. And that was only an okay landing. All right, another perfect landing. That's only an okay one, so we lose that boost. And back to a perfect. With my wings, I could in theory delay the amount of time between my landings. Well, eventually I'd run out of energy, because I don't have any relics that give me energy boosts. Right, goods are good, but that's only okay. I'm still getting the angles right for which ones are perfects versus the others. But yeah, it's enough for an S rank. Getting a lot of boost items helps you get S ranks and maintain them a lot more. Alright. Come on, I need a perfect. There's our perfect. You'll notice sometimes it says close call. That's just if you barely avoid an object. It doesn't do anything by itself, but there are a lot of items that trigger on close calls and thus encourage you to play a bit more risky than you normally would by intentionally going closer to... Man, we are booking it here. Your rating is determined entirely by how quickly you make it to the gate. Doesn't matter how many sparks you pick up or how much damage you take or don't take. It's all about speed. In this case, yeah, we can go... We'll go up here in case we need healing. But we don't need that immediate healing. Alright, we have a little bit more money to spend. What do we got here? Run 100 meters. So that's running on the ground. Gives you that extra 5% energy. 60 extra max health. Or on cooldown, restore 2 health, and it cools down every 2 seconds, and it auto triggers itself. So this is like an auto heal. So do I want the extra healing? I think I'm doing fine with health. So we will take the Dynamo Treadmill for a little extra energy gain. Now that only charges when I'm running on the ground. So when I'm flying through the air, it's not charging. But there's plenty of times where I'm on the ground for a while. Like there, you can see I've been on the ground here, so you can see the dynamo charger charging itself up. And every time it reaches 100, I get that. All right, so here's... Ow! Those rings would have given me a speed boost if I threaded the needle. Oof, there we go. Successfully. Oop, another ring. Whee! Ow! Alright, maybe I should have taken some healing. Yeep! And yeah, the faster you go, the harder it is to avoid obstacles. So it's, I mean, you want to go fast, but you also want to avoid obstacles. Phew! Alright, on to the next one. Whee! Ow! Why did I hit that? Yeah, you do have a max energy. There's no benefit to gaining energy beyond that, but it's good to keep it in reserve in case you need to use it. Oh boy. Bunch. Here's what I'm talking about, the obstacles getting harder, like these little rotating laser pinwheels here. Whee! Oh, watch the tree branches. The leaves don't count as collision, but the tree branches within the trees do count as collision. Oh, that was close. Alright, I'm not going to thread the needle there. Ooh, 142. All these boosts are stacking up. And that's what I was talking about. You're going too fast, you can't avoid all the obstacles. So yeah, we just lost a life there. Those lasers aren't instant kill, but I was already heavily damaged to begin with, so that one laser was enough to do me in. Woo! Alright, down this hill, up we go, down this hill. I do like to keep lower to the ground when I can. There we go, perfect. Get that fragile confidence buff going again. Ow. Sometimes I'll do a flap to get just over the crest of a hill so I can have access to the downhill portion of it. All right, good enough. Now, I will take the fire here because that does, not only does that heal us to full, it restores 1 missing life. So I will take that to get our lost life back up. We also get some lore here. I'm not going to talk to the NPC because I don't want to spoil. I'm a little more than halfway through the story and I don't want to spoil the story for you, so I am not going to talk to the NPC. You just go near the fire to get the healing. That's not to say that I don't like the story. It's just I don't want to spoil it. We're in medias res story-wise. Okay, on a non-perfect landing, do a perfect landing. So this one will just actually just count one of your non-perfect landings as a perfect landing, and you can do that every 20 seconds. Given how much perfect landing tech we have, we're absolutely doing that. It's the only one we can afford, but that's good enough for me. All right, let's go to one of the hard levels here, because this is going to give us an item at the end of it, but it's also a lot harder than the other levels in this world. Lots more obstacles to dodge around. That light curtain right there will deep fat fries. I'm going to fly over this thing. Needed a little bit more to get over that lip. Don't clip the light curtain. You can thread the needles. You're kind of meant to do that, but I am going to use my wings to nope away from those, because those will take out like half your health if they hit you. I will try and greed some of these shards though. There's a perfect. If you see perfect in quotation marks, that means my item turned a non-perfect into a perfect. There we go. And your ranking, instead of giving you sparks, gives you extra item rarity. All right, so this one gives us a flat 25% boost, but on a close call, it hurts us. So that actually makes close calls bad. Perfect landings give us 30% chance for a 30% boost for 5 seconds, or on spark pickup, gain an energy. This would be useful if we weren't at the boss, so we're going to take this one. All right, we're at the boss. So the boss here is a giant robot. He's all the way across the level from us. And he's just shooting out all these arrows. And we just gotta run into him. This of all things, this will not damage us, but us smacking into him. Everything else, including the fire and all the obstacles, will do damage to us, but ow. A little roasty toasty, and he's got this little flame wave attack. Oof. And also, if you take too long to get to him, he'll jump away from you before you can hit him. So you gotta be quick in getting to his next location. You gotta anticipate where all the fire is gonna be growing from. Here comes the wave. One more hit. Teach you to set all our stuff on fire. Yeet. Oh no, flame wave. Ow. Okay, we are very low health, but I think we've got him. As long as we don't take too long to get to him. There we go. Phew! Alright, anti-sparks is the progression currency that you get for that helps you unlock new things, new traversal methods, more health, more upgrades, everything. And we also unlock new items that can now start appearing. If faster than 120, restore 2 health. So this heals you when you're going really fast. Greed machine. Hey, this sounds like me. Every 25 spark pickup, gain a 35 boost. Invulnerability and gain 20 energy. So yeah, the pickups, the sparks within the levels. This sounds like my kind of item. All right, so if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. And I'm going to end things with a little bit something different here. So I'm going to hit keep running. This brings you into endless mode. And I'm also going to stop talking because part of this game is about the flow state, about getting into the vibe. This is kind of what got me hooked on it. So if you want to get into a flow state watching me play this without me yapping, then here we go. Otherwise, enjoy and let me know in the comments if you want to see more of this. If you want me to see me tackle some of the harder levels. Right then, off we go.